I'm asking, do you think it's the resin that's causing the wear on the right side? Or do you think it's the concrete not taking rubber, just trying to make sure we don't pop a tire? Hey, everybody has enough tires to get through the rest of this race.
Does NASCAR have like a crisis management team? Because this seems like a crisis right now.
Obviously, whole field managing tires here. Yeah, even the leaders to fire off, we're slow.
Hey there, racing fans. Today, we're diving into the adrenaline-pumping action that unfolded at the recent NASCAR Cup Series race at Bristol Motor Speedway. The stage was set, the engines roared, and the anticipation was palpable as drivers geared up for the high-stakes battle at Bristol Motor Speedway. However, what ensued was a roller coaster of tire dramas, Kyle Busch's unfortunate car concerns, strategic maneuvers, and a display of sheer racing prowess by Denny Hamlin and few others. Buckle up as we dissect the tire chaos, unexpected twists, and memorable moments that made this race one for the history books. Before we dive in, do subscribe to the channel. The race kicked off with tire troubles plaguing several drivers, setting the tone for a day filled with strategic tire management. Denny Hamlin emerged as a dominant force, navigating through the chaos with precision and claiming victory after leading an impressive 49 of the final 50 laps. Hamlin's triumph wasn't just a solo effort. Joe Gibbs Racing showcased their prowess with a 1-2 finish as Martin Truex Jr. battled fiercely, but ultimately settled for second place. The team's strategy and exceptional pit crew performance were instrumental in their success on the challenging Bristol track.
Gave Hamlin a little bit extra lead. Exactly what he looked. Coming around here to one to go. This is just what the doctor ordered. It's exactly what Denny Hamlin wanted to see.
White flag. Works around the outside of Chase Briscoe. And by about 12 car lengths, Denny Hamlin is going to win Bristol.
2 in a row here.
A winner here last fall, and he wins on the return to spring concrete.
My favorite racetrack. We got another one. Thank you.
My goodness, that was wild.
52nd career win for Denny Hamlin, 13th on the all-time NASCAR win list.
Just 5 cars finished on the lead lap as the field dealt with tire issues the entire race. It's the 4th win for Hamlin at Bristol and his 52nd Cup Series win. The win is the 2nd straight for Joe Gibbs Racing and Toyota.
Well, one of the wildest Bristol races we have ever seen, Danny. You find a way to get the job done, get your 2nd in a row here at Bristol.
Yeah, it's just, that's what I grew up doing here in the short tracks of the whole Mid-Atlantic. So South Boston, Martinsville, all those tracks, just this is what I grew up doing. So once it became a tire management race, I really liked our chances, but obviously the veteran in Martin, he knew how to do it as well. And so we just had a great car, great team. Pit crew just did a phenomenal job all day. Can't say enough about them. First time with Oil Change Express on the car. Appreciate all the Mavis folks as well. So, man, it feels so good to win in Bristol.
Denny Hamlin wins a wild one in Bristol.
This race wasn't just about the checkered flag and witnessed some record-breaking moments. The Bristol race broke the record by double digits and etched its name in history with a staggering 54 lead changes, a record for a track under 1 mile. The most lead changes at the last Great Coliseum was 40 back in 1991. The relentless back-and-forth battles between drivers kept fans on the edge of their seats throughout the intense competition. Behind the scenes, Goodyear faced puzzling issues as extensive tire wear threw a curveball into the mix.
Was this 1998 or 2002 or 2006, 2010? The years I remember when tire management was a big issue here at Bristol. Remember back in the day, you had to pit after maybe 80 laps or 100 laps or 120 laps. You couldn't go a full fuel run here at Bristol because you needed tires. Today at Bristol, you need them after about 50 laps. Maybe you probably needed a little bit more. Not maybe. You needed them to last a little bit longer. But man, you get them to last a little bit longer, and this would just be an incredible show. What was bad about today, it was a surprise. Now look, people thought there might be an issue with tires, but they thought also the track would eventually rubber in. It never did. But the idea of tire management at Bristol, I think after the initial shock wore off about what people were seeing, that's what you want in a race. You keep having a race like this, and there's not going to be talk about adding more horsepower.
Despite prior testing and preparations, the track's behavior left experts scratching their heads, adding an element of unpredictability to an already thrilling race day. While the race was going down, the Goodyear director, Greg Stucker, stepped up to chat about the wild tire situation at Bristol Motor Speedway. When asked about the hiccup, he shared that they did some testing on the track last fall, aiming to create a tire setup that would wear down more since that's what NASCAR and the teams were after. He also went on to explain that while they aim for tire wear since it spices up the race, with drivers having to manage their tires wisely, something was off this year. Goodyear officials also said resin on the racetrack might have impacted tire performance, which caused many cars to fall way off the pace.
So we tested here last year with the intent to come up with a tire package that generated more tire wear. That was the request from NASCAR and the teams. And we feel like we had a very successful test. We feel like we had a very successful race in the fall of last year because we did exactly that. You know, we ran a full fuel stop, definitely saw wear, but we thought it was spot on. So now we're trying to understand what's different, why is the racetrack behaving differently this weekend than what it did a year ago. It's the same package, it's the same tire combination. Obviously, the difference is resin was placed on the lower groove instead of the PJ1, yet I still think the racetrack should be taking rubber as it did last fall. Took rubber immediately during that race. So still a bit of an unknown as far as why it's not behaving the same way, that being the racetrack, but that's kind of what we know now. Obviously, everybody's kind of in the same boat. Some guys are able to manage through it a little bit better than others, but it's still a tough situation, and we're just going to have to try to understand exactly what's happening, what's different, and adjust from there.
While Hamlin and Truex shone at the front, other drivers showcased resilience and determination in the face of adversity. Tire wear became a key factor in the race early on, and issues hit several drivers throughout the day as their tires reacted poorly to the track's surface. Spins were the common caution cause of the day. Kyle Busch spun twice, Ricky Stenhouse and Austin Cindric spun together, and Josh Berry spun out on his own. Kyle Busch's uncharacteristic spin-out turned into a silver lining as his actions potentially saved others from tire-related troubles, highlighting the camaraderie amidst fierce competition.
And a spin in turn
There it
two,
is.
and it's Kyle Busch.
And it's down. The right rears finally blew out on him. I don't think he's the only one. Denny Hamlin was in trouble getting into 3. We're going to go
Kyle
backwards.
Busch becomes the next caution at lap 1.
He's going backwards, losing as little space as possible.
He is one lap down, trying to keep from going another.
Yeah.
While many fans were enjoying the show at Bristol, Ryan Blaney didn't have much fun. He also didn't want to talk about Ross Chastain. At the end of this race, Ryan Blaney finished P16. He was in the front at times, had a fast car, but was unable to manage his tires as well as others. And at one point, Blaney found himself having contact with Chastain. To get around Blaney, Ross put his bumper to him. That wiggled the 12 car out of the groove, then the two made contact again as Chastain made the pass. Mike Joy even called it out, saying that Blaney got Chastained.
Boy, Ryan Blaney got muscled around there. He got Chastain.
Yep, Chastain moved him right up out of the way. He did a whale of a job holding that car underneath of him.
Ross Chastain finished one spot above Ryan Blaney at the end of this race. The two came across the line P15 and P16, with the Trackhouse driver getting the better of the Team Penske champion. Well, after the race, Ryan Blaney didn't want to hear anything about Ross Chastain.
You have to test it. Like, you can't just show up at the racetrack and run 500 laps with it. Like, you have to have a tire test. That's why we do tire tests. Made a little change and it didn't work. And so then the riding I had to do, I was slower. So I just got moved off the bottom and you get used up. And then you're in the middle and you're wearing your stuff out with guys abusing you. So it's like,
you had a run-in with Ross Chastain, and one
I'm tired of you asking me Ross questions.
Okay.
As the dust settled and the cheers echoed, drivers reflected on the grueling yet exhilarating experience. Ryan Blaney's frustrations and Ross Chastain's consistent performances added layers to the post-race narratives, showcasing the emotional roller coaster of NASCAR competition. As NASCAR and Goodyear analyze the race's dynamics, fans eagerly await the next chapter in this thrilling saga. The quest for the perfect tire setup, strategic nuances, and the relentless pursuit of victory promise to deliver more heart-pounding moments in the races to come. In conclusion, the NASCAR Bristol Speedway race was a testament to the resilience, skill, and sheer passion of drivers and teams. From tire chaos to record-breaking lead changes, every moment added to the spectacle that is NASCAR racing. Do hit that like button, share and subscribe for more exhilarating action as the season unfolds. Until next time, keep the conversation going on. Lucky Dog on Track.